Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the SaiParenting talk by Mr. Robert and Mrs. Rita Bruce. On behalf of the host and organizers today, the Sai Central Council of Malaysia, we wish a warm welcome to our speakers, Mr. Robert and Rita Bruce, who come from America. It is indeed our pleasure and privilege to have Mr. and Mrs. Robert Bruce today with us, as both of them have vast knowledge and experiences to share with us on parenting. During their last 30 years of their spiritual journey, they have infused and practiced the teachings of Satya Sai Baba in their lives and in bringing up their 4 children. Today they are here to share with us the vast insights that they have gained from their own life's experiences. Sister Rita Bruce has written and published 4 books, including one on Satya Sai Parenting, on how to infuse spiritual values in parenting and in bringing up our children. She has also published 2 books on Vision of Sai 1 and Vision of Sai 2, which chronicles their spiritual journey over the last 18 years in the Sai Baba movement. The last book that she has published is Love of Conscience, which she herself describes as the perfect model of Satya Sai Baba's teachings on human values. The parenting book that Sister Rita Bruce has written has in fact now been translated into 5 different languages around the world. I invite now Brother Robert Bruce and Sister Rita Bruce to come up on stage to commence this talk. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a warm round of applause.
Oh, welcome everyone. Oh. It is so wonderful to be in Malaysia, and we want to thank, of course, the Sai organization, the Educare Academy, and you know, it's like the tip of the iceberg. What you see up here is 10%. The work that you all did is 90%. So let's give the people that worked hard to make this so wonderful a big hand, please. Not too long ago, we were in Switzerland, and it's a very unusual country. All the material for the workshop, like we had today, was translated into 4 languages: French, German, Italian, and English. At least we just did it in 1 language here. But it's really a language of the heart. You know, and that's what is so unusual today, is whether it's in Russia, whether it's in Greece, whether it's here in Singapore, New Zealand, America, Canada, it is a world consciousness problem that us people who are striving to make the family stronger is having. You are not unique in Malaysia, trust me. Every place, the family is slowly deteriorating. We're all struggling, we're all stressed out. And so it just gives us a couple hours tonight just to think about it, because we're so stressed in this life. And no matter where we go, that's the way it is. Oh, at last I got a day to sit down and think about it. And what is so unbelievable, your key issues and concerns You have all the answers inside of you. That's what the Sai organization's called Educare. It comes from within and out. We all have this knowledge in us. It's just that we have to sit down and talk about it. Now, the parenting book that they referred to, the Satya Sai Parenting that my wife did, it's really started when we were doing workshops saying, leave us with something so that we keep referring to us, that keep our batteries charged. We have these trials, tribulations with my 8-year-old, all of a sudden is 12 years old or 14 years old. Things are different with an 8-year-old and a 14-year-old. I got to keep reviewing and keep my inspiration going. And she was inspired from every place we went to write this. And she'll get into that more. And there's certain things in here that is very unusual. There's a lot of scientific knowledge. Sai Baba gave her information from his teachings, but scientists want other things than philosophical teachings. Give me facts. Give me things that are known. You know how the scientists are. I'm one of them. I'm an engineer. I'm not quite a scientist. I'm a little more practical than scientists and doctors. But it goes into what science has proven with early child development, why 0 to 5 is so critical today, why preschool is so critical. And what I've been reading in the papers in Malaysia, your government is such a visionary, and every one of you needs to support it because there is an awareness that the family value needs help. So really, give the government all the support you can. So, I think I've said enough, haven't I?
She said to have everybody turn off their mobiles.
Oh, everybody turn off their mobile. I'm not used to that. See, I don't have a mobile phone. I'm not used to the music going off and everything. Yeah, everybody's supposed to turn their mobile off. I heard something, I didn't know what it was. Okay. And if you're a doctor on call, sit in the very back, say you get an emergency call, well, you can understand that. But for most of us, if your child's at the shopping mall and he wants to buy a pair of Michael Jordan tennis shoes for $150, you don't need to listen to it anyway. That's why you're here tonight.
Good evening.
Oh, turn the button. There we go.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear? It's a pleasure to come and speak and to be with you tonight to share some of the wonderful things that Robert and I have learned from Sri Satya Sai Baba and his teachings. I want to start off with just a little brief introduction about how I grew up so that you can understand how different life is today. My generation dies. When we're gone, there will be no one left to remember what life was like before television. I was raised in the Midwest, in St. Louis, in the suburbs. And I lived a block from the Catholic Church. I went to school, went to Mass every morning. My grandmother lived with me. Her sister lived with us. There were 3 children, my mother and my father. All of my uncles and aunts and cousins lived within walking distance. All of my friends that I played with were my parents' friends. They went to school, most of them together, and married each other. So it was a very tight, closed community. The extended family existed. I didn't know I didn't have a lot of money. All of our houses looked the same. We all played the same games in the schoolyard. And the most exciting thing we ever did was on a hot summer night, my dad would put us in the car and drive us further out in the country to catch a cool breeze. And if we were lucky, we could stop for an ice cream